Hello, Peter here, your Pinoy accountant. So in this video, pag-usapan natin yung process flow ng pag-file and pay ninyo ng inyong first quarterly income tax return. Again, yung pag-file and ang pagbayad nito is yung deadline is May 15 na. So first, ito yung gagawin natin. First is yung EBIR form. Kailangan natin to mag-file electronically. So using yung 1701Q. So after which you will receive an email tax return receipt confirmation once na-submit ninyo yung inyong 1701Q version 2018 pala yung gagamitin natin, and you will receive an email tax return receipt confirmation. And once you receive the email tax receipt confirmation, you can now pay your tax due. If may mga tax payable kayo, you can pay through your authorized agent banks, AABs, or you can also pay online using yung MyEG, Maya, and there are other platforms na available. So you can check the website of BIR, yung bir.gov.ph/epay. So ipopost ko lahat ng mga links doon sa ating video description. So once nakapag-file and pay na kayo, may additional pa tayo na kailangan gawin if ever nag-claim kayo ng 2307. So if nag-claim kayo ng 2307 as deduction to your tax due, kailangan yung i-encode yung inyong 2307 using the BIR Alpha List data entry naman and validation. So, kailangan nyo i-download yung software na ito. Kailangan nyo i-install sa inyong computer. So, again, once, if ever, i-download nyo yung itong Alpha List data entry and validation version 7.4 dun sa website ng BIR, dalawang applications or software, yung isang installer lang to, I mean, but dalawa yung application na lalabas. So, yung isa is the AlphaList data entry, and yung isa naman is the AlphaList validation naman. So, dalawa yung applications. So, first, kailangan nyo i-encode isa-isa yung 2307 doon sa AlphaList data entry. So, every 2307 na natanggap ninyo and ginamit nyo doon sa or clean name ninyo, kailangan nyo i-encode yun isa-isa. So, once na-encode nyo lahat ng 2307 for the first quarter pala to ha, that is from January 1 to March 31. So, lahat ng covered doon sa period na yon, yun yung ating first quarter. So, again, once nakapag-generate na kayo ng data file, so, using yung AlphaList data entry, kailangan yung mag-generate ng data file, after which kailangan yung i-validate yung data file na iyon. So, once validated na yung data file, kailangan yung i-email naman dun sa yung data file mismo, i-email nyo sa e-submission at bir.gov.ph. So, kailangan nyo lang i-input yung name niyo, yung TIN number, yung address, contact number, and ano ba yung details ng sinabit niyo. That, for example, 2307 South, first quarter 2025. So, may video tayo doon. So, pwede nyo i-check yung link natin doon sa ating description. So, again, once nakapag-submit na kayo ng email, makakatanggap kayo ng dalawang email yung natatanggap ninyo. First is the system-generated na acknowledgement receipt. So, makakatanggap kayo noon na na-receive na ng BIR yung sinabit ninyo na data file. And after which, mostly 3 days and yung iba 1 week. Yung iba actually hindi nakapag-receive nung second email. Yung second email is the e-submission validation report. So, nakalagay lang doon sa email na yon na valid yung sinabit nyo na file and walang mga errors. So, actually, yung iba, yun yung common problem, especially nung last ITR, 2024 annual ITR na attachment, is yung iba hindi nakatanggap nung second email, yung e-submission validation report. And again, yung advisory niyan or yung advice ng BIR is yung yung system-generated na acknowledgement receipt na lang yung i-attach natin or i-submit sa EAFS. So, yun. So, again, ito yung mga steps natin. So, last step natin is if ever may mga attachments naman tayo doon sa ating ITR, sa ating first quarter ITR, kailangan yung i-attach yun or i-submit using the EAFS naman. So, may video din tayo dyan about EAFS. If hindi nyo napanood, click nyo lang again yung ating link sa ating description. So, yung deadline na to, nung EAFS, yung mga attachments natin sa ating ITR, so hindi lang to applicable sa annual ITR ha. If sa quarterly ITR, may mga attachments kayo, EAFS din yung gamitin natin. So, for example, nag-claim kayo ng 2307, sa first quarter ITR ninyo, kailangan yung i-attach yon or i-submit using the EAFS. And yung deadline niyan is May 30. So, if hindi pa kayo nakagawa ng EAFS account, kasi yung BIR ngayon, ito talaga yung pinupush. Wala na talagang manual lang if in case na down yung system nila or hindi tayo makapag-submit. Kagaya nung nangyari na what happened last dun sa attachments dun sa annual ITR ng 2024, inallow nila na mag-manual submission ulit. But for me, kailangan yung gumawa na ng account as early as now. So, hindi kayo maka-encounter ng mga problems. So, yun, create kayo ng account if hindi pa kayo registered. So, go to the link lang, eafs.bir.gov.ph/eafs. So, ito yung mga common pala ng mga attachments na applicable sa atin. Yung ITR itself. So, by the way, PDF copies yung kailangan, in PDF file, yung kailangan natin sa EAFS. So, ito yung mga common na attachments na applicable sa atin. The ITR, the email tax return receipt confirmation, and the proof of payment. And yung bulk talaga dito is the 2307. So, kailangan yung i-scan yun. And pwede na palang e-signature yung pag-sign nyo doon sa 2307. So, ina-allow na yon ng BIR. So, again, 2307. And then last, if nag-claim kayo ng 2307, kailangan nga yung South. It's a summary, alpha list of withholding taxes, and the validation report, yung email, kailangan yung i-save yun as PDF kasi i-attach natin yun sa EAFS. So again, if hindi daw kayo naka-receive nung e-submission validation report, pwede na yung acknowledgement receipt na lang yung system generated, yung i-attach natin sa EAFS. So ito yung summary or overall process sa pag-file and pay ninyo ng inyong first quarterly income tax return. So, magsasample tayo. Ipapakita ko yung overview kung ano ba yung 1701Q version 2018. So, i-open natin yung ating EBIR form. So, open natin yung offline EBIR form package and then input nyo lang yung details niyo, yung TIN, RDO code, line of business, yung taxpayer's name. So, lahat ng details dito, i-input ninyo. And then, punta na tayo dito sa list of BIR forms. Again, yung gagamitin natin is 1701Q version 2018. 1701Q version 2018. So, ito, quarterly income tax return for self-employed individuals, estates, and trusts. So, click nyo yan. And then, click nyo yung fill up. Okay. So, nandito na tayo sa form itself. So, naka-pre-filled na yung ibang mga details na in-input natin kanina. So, check nyo lang ano yung mga naka-blank dyan na kailangan ng details or input natin so that mababalidate natin or masasave natin successfully or masasubmit natin successfully yung ating 1701Q. So, dito tayo for the year 2025. So, first quarter, amended return, no. Kung first filing yung for the 1701Q first quarter, no yung amended return, or if i-amend ninyo, yes yung pipiliin ninyo. So, yung background information ng taxpayer, so naka-pre-filled na to. So, dito tayo sa taxpayer type. So, professional kayo if you're a practicing profession. So, if you're into business naman, single proprietor naman yung pipiliin natin. So, for example, Lazada kayo or Shopee or TikTok, single proprietor yung pipiliin natin. And then, dito naman sa ATC, lakin ko lang. Ayan. So, sa ATC naman is business income dahil single proprietor yung pinili natin. Or dito kayo sa mga profession if professional kayo. Or if ever mixed income earner kayo, meaning may compensation kayo, employed kayo, and at the same time doing business, so dito kayo sa mixed income. So, in our example for this video lang, business income tayo tapos 8% income tax rate yung pipiliin natin. So, may option kayo, graduated income tax rate or yung 8% income tax rate. So, in this video, 8% tayo so that mas simple na yung ating computation. So, i-tick ninyo yan, i-click ninyo. And then next, check nyo ano yung mga kulang pa ng mga details. Taxpayer's name, yan, registered address, yan, kompleto na. Date of birth, so importante yung date of birth. Yan, month daw, tapos the day, and then the year. So, ano pa yun? Citizenship naman. Yan, Pinoy tayo, Pinoy ako, Pinoy tayo, di ba? So, yan, citizenship and foreign tax number if applicable. So, in most cases, hindi yan nag-apply sa atin. Claiming foreign tax credits, that is no. So, dito tayo sa number 16, tax rate. Kasi 8% yung pinili natin kanina, automatic siya nag-click dito. 8% on gross sales receipts. Yan. So, hindi tayo kailangan pumili na ng method of deduction. So, if graduated tax rates kayo, you can choose itemized deduction or the optional standard deduction. So, proceed na tayo sa part 2. Background information on spouse if applicable naman. If hindi naman, pwede nyo lang i-leave yan as blank. In most cases din naman kasi, separate yung filing ng husband tsaka ng wife. So, dito na tayo sa part 3. Dito sa total tax payable. So, kita nyo dito, wala pa siyang data because yung i-input natin sa next page, automatic siyang magko-compute dito yung tax due nyo, yung mga tax credits, and the total amount payable. So, wala kayong ano dito, ilalagay or i-fill out. So, next natin is yung signature pala. Pag print nyo na to later in PDF file, kailangan yung i-sign to. Pwede ng e-signature actually. So, in our upcoming video, maybe ipapakita ko sa inyo how you can sign your e-signature for free. Pwede nyo gawin yan. Or pwede din mano-mano i-print nyo and then manual nyo i-sign and then i-scan nyo ulit into PDF copy. So, proceed na tayo sa next page. So, sa next page tayo, Schedule 1, this is for graduated income tax rate. So, hindi to applicable sa atin. Ayan, hindi naka-gray out na siya, hindi nyo ma-fill out dahil 8% yung pinili natin. So, dito na tayo sa Schedule 2 for 8%. So, sales revenue receipts, fees, yan, net of sales returns, allowances, and discounts. So, again, yung may video tayo niyan, yung kung paano nyo ma-generate yung income summary, income statement niyo if ever Lazada, Shopee, TikTok. So, again, yung gross yung kailangan nyo dito ilalagay ha. So, hindi nyo i-deduct yung mga commission, yung mga fees, yung mga platform fees, hindi nyo i-deduct dito. So, yung gross amount, less nyo lang if ever may mga sales returns, allowances, and discounts. So, for example, ano tayo, 200,000 yung ating first quarter. So, again, this is from January to March ninyo na net sales. So, 200,000 and then non-operating income. So, hindi siya related sa inyong business. If may mga other non-operating kayo, mga earnings, ganun, mga nagbenta kayo ng garage, nag-garage sale kayo, yung mga tipong ganun na hindi siya related sa inyong business. So, other income ninyo yan. So, in most cases naman, zero lang yung nilalagay dyan sa non-operating income. So, that will give us itong total income for the quarter, 200,000. So, add total taxable income loss previous quarter. So, first quarter pa lang ito. So, wala pa tayong previous quarter. So, zero lang yung ilalagay nyo dyan. So, yung cumulative taxable income natin as of this quarter is still 200,000. So, ito na tayo sa yung pinaka-importante is the less allowable reduction from gross sales receipts and other non-operating income. So, applicable lang to. Again, applicable lang ito if you are purely doing business or purely practicing ng inyong profession. So, if mixed income earner kayo, if employed kayo, and at the same time may business kayo, wala na kayong allowable reduction. So, yung allowable reduction natin is 250,000. Yan. So, that will give us itong taxable loss tayo. Mas malaki kasi yung allowable reduction natin kaysa dun sa ating sales revenue. So, yan, 50,000 yung total, ano natin. In most cases, yan naman talaga yon if hindi pa lalagpas sa 250,000 yung ating sales for our first quarter. So, normal lang yan na magkaka-negative taxable loss tayo. 50,000. So, negative siya. So, automatic yan yung tax due natin is 0. So, again, ayan yung tax due natin, 0. So, depende yan if mas mataas yung income ninyo, magkaka-tax due kayo automatic. I-compute niya. So, for example, sabihin na natin lumampas kayo sa 250,000, 300,000 yung inyong sales. And magkaka-taxable income kayo dito. Kita nyo? 300 less 250. So yung taxable income nyo is 50,000. And then yung tax rate na 8%. So yan, automatic niyang kinumpute. So yung tax due natin is 4,000. So yan yung, ito na lang yung example natin so that makita nyo na may tax due. So prior years excess credits. So again, if yung 2024 ITR ninyo, may overpayments kayo or may mga credits kayo na hindi nagamit, 2307 na hindi nagamit. So i-check niyo yung inyong 2024 na annual ITR. If may mga overpayment 'yon, dito niyo ilalagay yung prior year's excess credits. So makiklaim nyo in this quarter. So for example, may excess credits kayo na 3,000 lang. Ayan, for example lang yan. That is yung mga 2307 or may overpayments kayo. So dito nyo ilalagay yan. 3,000 yung prior years excess credits natin. So ito, total payments for the previous quarter. Again, zero yan because first quarter pa lang yung ginagawa natin. And then next is the creditable tax withheld for the previous quarter. Zero again to dahil first quarter pa tayo. And dito na tayo, creditable, ayun na yan, nabubulol pa tayo. Creditable tax withheld per BIR 2307 for this quarter. So first quarter na ito. For example, si Shopee nag-withhold sa payments ninyo. Sa magbibigay siya ng 2307. So kinaltasan niya yung supposed to be na payment sa inyo ng withholding tax. So 2307 yung ibibigay sa inyo. So for example, naka-accumulate may 2307 kayo from January, February, March. Let's say na lang na 1,000 yung 2307 ninyo. So maliless kasi yung tax due dyan. Creditable tax withheld for this quarter is 1,000. And then next is tax paid in return previously filed if amended return. So hindi to applicable sa atin. Ito, foreign tax credits, hindi din applicable sa atin. Other tax credits, ayan, hindi din applicable sa atin. So yung total tax credits or payment natin is 4,000. So yung prior year's excess credit and then yung 1,000 pa na first quarter na 2307. So yung payment natin kumbaga is 4,000. So yung tax due natin, di ba? Tax due is 4,000. Less natin itong mga payments, tax credits na 4,000. So zero ulit yung ating tax payable. Ayan, di ba? So, example na lang natin na maliit so that makita nyo na may payable tayo. Example, 2,000 lang yung ating excess credit. Ayan. So, automatic yung nakaganda dito sa yung BIR form na ito is automatic siya nagko-compute. Kita nyo? May tax payable pa tayo na 1,000. Ayan, 1,000 lang yung payable natin. So, check natin yung first page. Ayan, so makita ninyo dyan, ayan, may details sa yung ating total tax payable. Yung tax due natin is 4,000, less natin yung tax credits and payments na 3,000. That will give us yung total tax payable or overpayment na 1,000. So dito may payable tayo na 1,000. So penalties, wala. If on time kayo nag-submit naman yan. If hindi naman, if late na kayo nagkapag-submit nito, kailangan nyo na magpa-compute dun sa inyong RDO ng inyong mga penalties. So, ito yung total amount payable natin is 1,000 pesos. So, ito, i-save natin. And then, i-validate natin. Ayan, kita niyo, validation successful. Click on edit if you wish to modify your entry. So, i-print lang yan ninyo. Pwede nyo i-print. And then, i-submit ninyo. If ready na kayo, are you sure you want to submit? And then, click nyo yung OK. So, once successfully nakapag-submit kayo, mag-i-email naman yung BIR ng tax return receipt confirmation na na-receive na nila yung inyong sinubmit na 1701Q. So after which, may ano din yun, may guide din yun kung paano kayo makapagbayad. In most cases, online na yung pagbayad. So it's either MyEG yung ginagamit ko talaga or Maya, pwede din sa Maya. So yun lang yung video natin for today. Pinakita ko lang sa inyo yung overview ng ating 1701Q kung paano ba kayo makapag-file and makapagbayad. So, for the first quarter, 2025, again, yung deadline nito is May 15 yung pag-file and at the same time, yung pagbayad is May 15 yun din yung deadline and yung mga attachments natin through EAFS naman, May 30 yung deadline. So, yun lang yung video natin for today. If may mga tanong kayo, just comment down below. And thank you for watching. And madami pa tayong upcoming videos, yung mga specific example naman, yung may Lazada, Shopee, TikTok, yung mga professionals, paano ba nila i-compute yung kanilang, compute yung kanilang 1701Q. So, yun lang yung video natin for today. Thank you for watching. And don't forget to like, comment, and of course, subscribe sa ating YouTube channel, Pinoy Accountant. Thank you again, and I'll see you again next time.